Hi, this is Leslie with Simply Vegan, and I'm a down-home vegan, and today we're going to make great burgers. These are wonderful in sandwiches, or you can put them in a casserole dish and put some gravy on top of them and serve them with baked potatoes. Wonderful, wonderful burgers. So let's get started right away. The recipe first calls for 1 cup of cooked garbanzos. Now we just got done doing a video on how to can garbanzos, and I had a lot of garbanzos left, so we decided to go ahead and do these burgers as well. So 1 cup of cooked garbanzos, we're going to put those in the blender. I'm going to be making a double recipe because these freeze so well. So 1 cup of cooked garbanzos. 1.5 cups of water will also go in the blender. Again, I'm doing double, so I have 3. And we are just going to blend this until the garbanzos are smooth. Put that in there. Just that quick and easy. All right. Now in a bowl, we're going to put 2 cups of oats. Now I like to use quick oats for this particular recipe because I think the burgers hold together better when it's quick oats. But you could go ahead and try rolled oats if you prefer to use that. Again, I'm making a double, so I'm going to be using 4 cups here. The recipe calls for 2. Got my quick oats. Then the recipe calls for 1 cup of chopped onion. Now, if you're not familiar with how to chop an onion, if you cut the stem and the base off of the onion and then cut it in half, lay the onion flat and put some slices in it this direction. I've already done this toward the root part of where the onion is. Then just take your large knife. When you're looking for a knife, if you can find a knife with a good wide tang on it, it gives you room to put your fingers up against it like this so that you don't cut your fingers. Your fingertips are never near that blade. So we're going to hold our onion fingers curved and rock the blade. Tip down, rock the blade just like that. And if you sliced it the other direction, your onion will be nice and sliced fine for you. Then when you get to the end, just turn it on its side and do a quick little dice. Now I need, for a single recipe, 1 cup of onions. So let's see what we have here. We've got 1 cup. I'm making a double, so we're going to go ahead and get the rest of these onions in here. Looks like I need just a little bit more. So let's just do a little bit more here for now. There we go. And we're just going to put that right in with the oats. Next ingredient that the recipe calls for is chopped walnuts. Now you could use pecans if you prefer to use those. Walnuts are a great source of omega-3 fats, which are really good for our brain. So 1/4 cup of walnuts. I've got a 1/2 cup here. I am going to do it in quarters simply because that's the easiest way to chop with my chopper. Put the plate over the top, flip it upside down. You can chop them chunky, you can chop them fine, however your taste prefer. I kind of like them relatively fine. We'll get the other 1/4 cup in here. And slide it right in the bowl. All right, so we've got our onions, our walnuts, our oats in here, our quick oats in here. Next, we're going to add a teaspoon of salt, or 2 teaspoons of salt for a double recipe. And then we're going to add some sage. Now, I really like the flavor of sage in these burgers. So if you're planning on loading your burger up with all kinds of vegetables like avocado and red onion and tomato and maybe some sprouts or some lettuce, you're going to want your burgers to be very flavorful. And so I like to use ground sage because it's powdered and it's going to be more concentrated sage. You can also get rubbed sage, which is kind of fluffy like dust you might find like little dust bunnies you find on your floor. It's fluffy like that, and so it's not as concentrated. So today I'm going to use ground sage, and it calls for 1 teaspoon per recipe. So I'm going to go ahead and put in 1 teaspoon per recipe right there. And now 2 tablespoons of Bragg's liquid aminos, or soy sauce, or light source soy sauce, whichever you would prefer. So I've got my soy sauce here. Put that right in there. Let's check everything. 1 cup of cooked garbanzos, 1.5 cups of water, 2 cups of quick oats, 1 cup of onion, 1 teaspoon of salt, 1 teaspoon of sage, 2 tablespoons of Bragg liquid amino or soy sauce. And now I'm going to take our blended garbanzos and the water and pour them right on to the burger mix. Now we'll just give this a good stir. The recipe says that after these chill, if it's still too pasty, and not firm enough, that you could go ahead and add 1/2 cup to 1 cup of breadcrumbs. But I have never found that to be necessary with this. I guess it would depend. Maybe if you were doing rolled oats instead of the quick oats, it may be too soft. But as you can see here, this is a soft but not incredibly runny, and after this sits in the fridge for a few hours, these oats are going to soak up the water, and it's going to have a wonderful consistency for shaping these patties. So I'm just going to smooth it out right here, put some saran wrap on top of it, or plastic wrap on top of it, pop it in the refrigerator. A few hours will work. You could do it overnight if that works for you, and we'll be back to shape these burgers and bake them. Till then. Alright, we're back again. Our burger mix has had a chance to set. I let it set overnight. And I've already made 1 batch, but you can see the thickness of it here. So let's go ahead and shape some of these burgers and get them into the oven. I'm going to use a pizza pan. You can use any pan you want, a cookie sheet, or whatever. Give it a spray with your no-stick spray. And we have a couple different ways that we can shape our burgers. An ice cream scoop works wonderful. This is a 1/4 cup ice cream scoop, and it scoops nice and thick. That is one way. Then just go ahead and flatten it with your fork to whatever size you want. I like to make a 1/4 cup because it's the right size to fit on a burger bun. But you can make it any size you want, and actually you could even make it as little, like a meatball if you're wanting to serve this with gravy on rice or something like that. Another way that you can shape your burgers is to use a large canning ring with the lid and just scoop that into the lid. If you like your burgers to all be perfectly shaped and kind of look like they've been commercially made, just fit it into the lid like that, flip it upside down, and then just release it. And then you have a perfectly shaped patty. So it all just depends what you like. Fill up your pan, put these in the oven to bake, and you'll let them bake for 25 minutes at 350 degrees on the first side. Flip them, and then bake them for 10 more minutes. Now I have some here that are already done, so we're going to go ahead and pack our lunch for today. I have some beautiful broccoli and a nice whole grain burger bun. Here's the burgers that just came out of the oven a little while ago. So, what shall we start with? A little squirt of mustard maybe? That'll make my husband very happy. Okay, a little mustard on there. And then we'll put one of our burgers. Some beautiful tomato. All these vegetables full of phytochemicals. All these beautiful colors just show that they're loaded with nutrition. We'll put some nice red onion. Onion is a superfood that is an anti-cancer food, so try to get some onions every day in your meals. Put them on your salad, put them in your burgers, put them in your casseroles, put them in your soups. Then I'm going to put some nice greens. I've got some spinach here There's some chard in there, a nice salad mix. You could use sprouts. Sprouts are wonderful in a sandwich. And then we'll put in some sliced avocado. Absolutely wonderful. This is healthy fat for you. This is the type of fat that is very good for you to absorb your fat-soluble vitamins like A, D, E, and K. Put your top on there. Oh, that is an amazing meal. I just can't wait to eat it. I hope that you'll try making our burgers. They freeze really well, so make a big batch because you're going to want to eat a lot of them. Till next time, eat for strength. Bye-bye.